Hey everyone, it's Nick with Respect the Run, and welcome to my 2013 race review. I'm pretty much going to cover how racing overall went for me last year, and I'm going to briefly touch on most of the races I did last year. But before I get into any of the races, I'm going to talk about goals that I set for myself in 2013. 2013 was one of the first times I actually even bothered to set goals in the first place. So I'm going to go over those and which goals I hit and which ones I missed. Alright, so the goals I went for in 2013, first one I set was 2,000 miles overall for the year. That was a little bit aggressive, I think, on that. 2012, I ran 1,031 miles, so that was practically asking myself to do double the amount of mileage the next year. I didn't hit this goal. I hit 1,562 miles, so disappointing there a little bit, but it's okay. I went to set a goal to do at least one race a month. I did hit that. I got a race every single month. I wanted to break my PR of doing 2 races in one day, so I shot for 3 races in one day, and I ended up getting that in March. I got 3 5Ks all in the same day. I also wanted to win a race last year because I hadn't won a race since I think it was 2007 for sure, because I don't think I won one in 2008. So I know it's been a good while, and I did win a race for 2013. Wanted to continue my running streak. I got that taken care of. I ran every single day of last year. I wanted to PR on my half marathon. I got that taken care of in November at the Battleship Run. And I also set a goal to run at least 100 miles each month. And I also got that goal as well. Lowest amount of mileage I did was 109, and the highest was 176. So not a bad year. I only missed one goal and I got the rest of them. Alright, so let's talk races for last year. I did 20 races for last year. 17 of those races were the 5K distance, with one of them being on the beach. The other distances I did a 4K, which was a automatic PR since it's the first time I ever did a 4K, which was 15 minutes and 28 seconds. I did the 10 miler. That was also a PR. That was an hour and 10 minutes. And then I also did a half marathon, which that was a PR of an hour and 29 minutes. And for those that don't know what I mean by saying PR, that means for a personal record. As far as times for the 5Ks, fastest time ended up being 18:35 for Riley's Army, which was here in Winterville. The slowest time that I had was 37 minutes and 11 seconds. That was at a couples race, which was over in Greenville, which is basically the same area, Greenville, Winterville. The couples race, me and my girlfriend did that one together. You had to start and finish together in that one. I picked up 3 male overall wins, with one of those with a nice little star next to it because a girl actually beat me in that one, but I was the first male to finish through on there. She was an excellent runner on there, by the way. Fastest girl time I saw all last year. I think she finished 18:20, if I remember correctly, on there. Out of the 20 races, 13 of those races, I placed top 3 male overall or better. 2 of the races for last year, the Run for the Warriors on 4th of July, and then the Dash for Cash, the 10 miler, I ran with this good size American flag. So those who wonder why I run with that flag, I basically run for those who have served us in the past, the present, and for the future. A lot of my family is actually in active military, and my father is retired, so is my uncle. I got cousins also active in the military, so it kind of hits me at home a little bit on there. For the races, doing 20 last year, I believe, well, I know for sure that is the most amount of races I've ever done. I want to say probably the previous highest was 10, if I remember correctly, somewhere around there. I didn't track it as well back in my early 20s, but I want to say it was right around 10. So doing double the amount of the races I did before was pretty good. So not a bad race year for me. Really can't complain a whole lot. But I am going to talk about some of my favorite moments, and then I've got probably about 3 least favorite moments from what happened from last year, and we're going to talk about those. Alright, favorite race day for last year. This was a easy choice for me. It was when I did 5 races all on the same day. All 3 of them were 5Ks. This was on March 23rd. I started with the Habitat Home Run that morning at 8 a.m. Finished at 19 minutes 42 seconds, and I placed second overall in that one. Then at 10 a.m. I went to the other side of Greenville to go do the Runathon. Finished that one in 20 minutes and 6 seconds. And then at 7 p.m. I went to New Bern, which is about an hour away from here. New Bern's basically my hometown as well. And I finished this one at 19 minutes 15 seconds, and I placed third overall in this race here. Overall, all 3 races went fine. These 2 it was a little troublesome. When I finished this one, I tried to wait to see if I was getting my medal or an award or whatnot, since I placed overall on there. Which, if you can tell, I don't have a medal up here. This race didn't do a medal for theirs. They did a gift card for Omega Sports, which is actually my competitor. For those of you that know, I actually run a local sports store here in town. So I had to leave this one, and then my girlfriend came back and she went and got my gift card from there, and then I went to this one. We also did pictures for all 3 races as well, which that's always fun for us. This one we struggled a little bit since it was a nighttime race, being at 7 p.m. Didn't have the camera settings right on there, so a lot of the pictures didn't come out that well, but both of those 2 came out really good on there. And this one was fun because they had Ronald McDonald out there running around a little bit, and the burglar guy. So those are always makes it fun when you got people out there in costume a little bit. No complaints really. All 3 races went fine for me. If you're wondering what I kind of ate throughout the day before I started this one at 7 p.m., I have Arby's on my safe list as far as as food to eat as far as lunchtime before you actually go do a run afterwards. I did the roast beef, mozzarella sticks, and the evil acid drink that people call soda, Pepsi. So I had those, and then I took a couple of ibuprofen just to keep my muscles a little bit relaxed throughout the day. And then probably, I think, about 5 o'clock, I had a couple of peanut butter energy gels from GU, and that kept my stomach pretty much at ease. So, no issues on there. Absolutely loved it. I recommend it to anyone who does at least long distance, like 10 miles or more. If you're afraid to do a couple of races in one day, don't be. Because it's a lot of fun. I know it does cost a little bit of money, but at least you're giving your money to a charity. Can't really complain about that. Previous record I have done 2 races before in the same day. I've done that twice, but this distance combined is actually smaller than those, because those 2 other races I did before, it was a half marathon that morning, and then I went and did a 5K that afternoon. So that was actually a little bit longer for me, because that was 16 miles versus just under 10 miles on there for these. That's it for my favorite race day. My favorite courses for last year. A shirt you don't see up here, or a medal because they didn't give me one, or I can't find the shirt for it. The easy one is the 4K. It was a Monster Dash, which is the only 4K I did last year, so that was an easy one to choose for. But very simple, just basically going out and no loops, that sort of deal. 5K, I picked Riley's Army for that one. This one's kind of an easy choice for me because this course actually takes you by my house. So it's my running neighborhood that the race is in. So I definitely love that. I only did the 1 half marathon last year, but if I was to throw in previous half marathons, New Bern, Greenville, this one was in Wilmington, was by far my favorite half marathon I did. The course was a little bit challenging that was on there, but it was a lot of fun. No complaints out of it. 10 miler, which I've only done Dash for Cash, and that's the only 10 miler I've ever done. I mean, it's the only 10 miler that I really know of, other than I think like the Tar Heel 10 miler that they have there in Chapel Hill. But she's had 3 different courses for this so far, and I'd have to say last year was very good. No problems with last year. It was a very good course that was on there. That's really it for my choices for favorite courses for last year. You want every race to go perfect, but out of the 20, I had 3 not go so perfect for me, so not too bad. The Bulldog 5K, that was the first one I had that was really kind of bad for me. It was a Sunday race, and race time was at 1 o'clock. When I woke up that morning, I had a pretty bad headache, and it didn't bother to go away at all. So I ended up having to do the whole race with a headache, and if anyone has seen me on my Facebook post, it's one of my least favorite times to run. So I dealt with it the whole time. It was very hot that day too. It was high 80s or low 90s. When I got done with that race, I literally almost puked, but I didn't. I had to take a moment to gather myself for a little bit too, because I went to try to take pictures afterwards, but I probably missed the first 20 runners on that one. Next bad one was the Bright Night. Just, it wasn't a good weekend as far as work. I ended up having to work a lot that Friday and then that Saturday before race time. What was benefited is that race time was at 7 or 6 p.m., but I didn't get off work until I think 3 or 4 that day, and then not getting lunch until right around then either, so my stomach was a little queasy a little bit. And then I did a stupid idea of deciding to wear my heart monitor strap. I wanted to see how well my heart does during actual race time. I've been practicing with regular runs. That was a terrible idea. Probably about a mile and a quarter into it, I started really cramping up on there, and it just got tightened up. I tried to take it off like 2 or 3 times during the run, but I didn't really want to lose too much of my pace, so I just dealt with it and ended up just getting really painful even more throughout the run. The only other bad one I had was the Kitty Hawk 5K. As you don't know, from here to Kitty Hawk is about 3 hours. And setting the goal last year of doing 1 race a month, this was my only race choice for August because I couldn't take any weekends off with work, and each morning I had to work the Saturday. This was the only Sunday race that was available. So working Friday and Saturday kind of late. When I got home, tried to sleep a little bit, didn't work, and we had to leave from here around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. to get there, so I didn't sleep at all the night before the race, and this was a beach run. I had 0 energy the whole time. It's not like I was really sick or anything after this run. It was a tough overall run, which was pretty much all I kind of dealt with on that. But nothing was wrong with organizations or anything as far as the races. Just personally, it just wasn't that good for me on those ones. But like I said, 3 bad races versus 17 other ones. Can't really complain with that at all. And those were my 3 least favorite runs. Well, this is going to wrap up my 2013 race review. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I weren't too boring. And sorry I didn't go over all the races, just highlighted some and just how the year went for me a little bit. Trust me, if I went over all the races, this video would probably be like a half hour long, and I don't feel like making it that long, and I don't think it should be. But for 2014, it's going to be a little bit different. From now on, it'll probably be as I mentioned in my welcoming video, I'll just be highlighting runners throughout the run, and then I'll talk overall how the run went for me and stuff on there. So that way you'll kind of see something after each run, as you typically see with just the pictures, and now I'll have a video on top of that. But that's going to be it, folks. Hopefully see y'all out there this year for 2014, and as Brooks Running would say, happy running out there to you.